I just wanted to quickly kind of go through and give you a little bit of a recap from my eyes. The start at the end, and I'll get to there, but we fell short of where we wanted to be. And we fell short of where I thought we could be. Really this season started, if you look at it back to last summer, we made a change and brought in Craig, and really the thought process behind that before bringing in the coach was I felt there was a style of play that we needed to get to. It's a style of play that I feel gives you the best chance to have success. We're seeing it, we see it. We saw it last night, we're seeing it in the playoffs, we see it prevalent in our division. It's a direct style. It's a style that I think you have to become a forechecking team. I think you have to limit risk. There is always risk in this game, but trying to reduce risk, and I think that gives you the best chance to win at the most important time. So with that thought, went through the process and found what I believe was the right coach to coach this team, and I'm proud of the work that Craig and his staff did this year. There's a lot that goes into changing how you play, and I think the team did a really good job with that. The next area that we really focused on last summer was our defense. Chris Tanev, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Yanni Hakanpää, Philip Myers, and then at the trade deadline, Brandon Carlo. I feel that we wanted to have a long defense, rangy defense, make it hard around our net, and a defending defense. You need to move pucks, and that's an area that we got to continue to improve in. And I think all those players had a positive impact. Obviously, in Yanni's case, we knew going into the summer, in talking to him, that there was risk. And, we went through that process and we took a swing and it didn't work out. But we'll always continue to look at if there's times to take swings, we're going to try to take swings. It didn't work out. But I think that defense and those guys, even in Philip Myers' case, in the role that he played for our team, did a really good job. We then looked at our goaltending, made a decision to move on from Samsonov last year. We feel we've got a real developing young goaltender in Joe Wall, but looked at it and saying we need to partner him in a tandem with somebody, and we brought in Stoli, and I thought together they were excellent, and they both had their own individual times where they went on runs. Both at certain points. Obviously, Anthony had the injury a couple of months, 2.5 months or so that he was out, and Joe carried the mail for us. So I thought that was a positive for us. There was a good partnership. And then supplementing the forward group. You're not going to overhaul your team. You make decisions where you're going to spend your cap dollars. But we wanted to, again, add some players that would try to fit in the style that we wanted to play, and bringing in Max Pacioretty, Steven Lorentz, and then at the deadline, Scotty Lawton, I thought fit well into our group. There's ups and downs in a season. There's adversity in every season. As I talked about, I thought our team was real committed in terms of their work ethic, in terms of their buy-in, in terms of changing how they play. And there's lots of positives in the regular season. We overcame a lot of injuries, specifically up front, and then obviously with Anthony in the net. 108 points, the Atlantic Division regular season title, I think 4th overall, and set a record for most road wins for the franchise. Our focus isn't in regular season success, but I think it has to be recognized, and I want to recognize the players and the staff for their work in there. There's mile markers in a season when you're trying to determine where your team's at. Are you ready to win? 2 for me that kind of stood out as we were going through the season was both in and out of the Four Nations. February was a difficult month for us travel wise. We went out west just before the the Four Nations. Did I say Four Seasons? I meant Four Nations. The Four Nations, and then coming out of the Four Nations, we had a home game against Carolina. We're back on the road, and in both cases, going in, coming out, I liked where our team was at. And then down the stretch, 13-2-1 down the stretch, I thought we were prepared. We had prepared ourselves to go into the playoffs. The playoffs. I always look at three things in the playoffs. The most important thing in the playoffs is critical moments. And we can sit here and debate, and we'll arm wrestle over different where you think critical moments are in series, but I think it's starting of series. It's tough to chase a series, so the start of a series, critical games within a series, and then closing out games or closing out series, finishing games. Round one, we played a real good team in Ottawa. That's a good team. I don't think they got enough credit. They've been building for a while. They've done a really good job there. It was a very good opponent. We had a good start in that series. 1-2 at home, tight game in game 3, win an overtime game. We were poor in game 5, critical game. It's a critical game. We were poor in game 5. Give our guys a lot of credit in game 6, winning a tight game on the road to close out a series in another critical game. So credit to the guys in that series. The Florida series. And first, I want to give a lot of credit to Florida. I haven't had a chance publicly to say there's a reason why there's a reason why they're the champion. There's a reason why they're going back again for their third crack at it. They've set the bar in our division. They've set the bar in the league, and that's what we aspire to. We come back to those critical moments again. We had a good start. I know we all talk about 5 and 7, and we'll get to that. I don't think, in my mind, I believe a big moment in that series is game 3. You're playing against the Stanley Cup champions. You got a chance to get them on the mat. We're up 2-0. We're up 3-1. Critical moment. We weren't able to close that out. It's not to close out the series, but the 3-0 lead is we know what the odds are and the percentages there if we were to get ourselves in that position. We're still in a series. It's 2-1. You're playing against the champs. Game 5 here. Critical moment. Series is tied. We weren't good enough. We weren't good enough in the moment. We go to game 6. All the credit to the staff, the players. They win a big game 6 on the road, and then we come back for game 7. And that series is going to stay with me for a long time. The way it ended will stay with me for a long time. It would stay with me if it was 2-1 in triple overtime. When you think you have a chance to win and you don't, it stays with you. But as I review this and as it dovetails now into, and I apologize for being long-winded, into how we go forward, I first give a lot of credit to Florida. Your opponent and the enemy has a say in things. And if you look at that critical moment in Game 7, I don't care if you're playing in the Stanley Cup playoffs, if you're playing in the whatever sport, you're playing in the Masters, you're in your own business. Champions have the ability to be calm and at their very best when it matters the most. And that is an area that we've got to improve in. I think there has been steps. I know the history. I've been here for 2 years. We lost to Game 7 in Game 1. We lost to Game 7, or in Round 1, lost to Game 7 in Round 2. I know what's happened before as well. But we have to be able to find a way to push through at the most critical moments. And that's the challenge in front of us. Moving forward, we have a good team. We've changed. We've changed a lot in the last 12 months. There will be change moving forward. That's just the nature of the business. No team comes back the same. We have to prepare, and not all change, might I add, is personnel. There'll be changes in personnel. I think we've changed a little bit. I talked about how we play. We've got to continue to change and evolve our mindset, and we've got to find a way to create the team, both between the ears, personnel, to be our very best at the most critical moments. There's some DNA that has to change in our team. That's one thing that I found. if you keep getting to the same result, and that's not to dismiss a lot of the good that happened up into it, when you keep getting the same result, there's some DNA that needs to change. And so that's on me now going forward and our staff. Although we've been done for a little bit, we've just now started, I've talked about the changes that have happened in the organization the last few days. We've now started the planning, and it's early for putting together our team for 25-26. You know, our schedule going forward right now, we just starting our pro scouting meetings. It's the first time to get together now with our staff and evaluate our team. Moving forward, changes that need to be made. We'll then go to the combine next week. We have the draft coming up, and we'll begin the process for the 25-26 season. And that change that I talk about at these moments, the one thing I do want to add, it's not, as I said, that Game 7 is going to live with me. I really felt there's times you're worried about where the team's at. I felt really good. I felt really good in that morning. Just the vibe around the team. And then we had the result we had. So that's the challenge that's in front of us.